Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is the penultimate episode, 299,
Whoa.
on August 17th, 2022. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Russ.
Wow, 299. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah, second to the last.
You know, because we are a species that have 10 fingers, we make a big deal about big 10 numbers that, end up are divisible by 10. So,
yeah, there's also the fact that we've been saying all along we're stopping at 300. So,
oh, that was a while ago we said that. I mean, like a long.
That was like 250 episodes ago.
That's right. I think I said back then that's when we reached syndication, right? So
I believe so.
I think so that means we're about to hit syndication. Man, that's so good. Can't wait till we get that good syndication kickback money. Yeah. Wonder who's going to pick us up.
Well, I mean, we've already been picked up by YouTube.
Well,
and we will get royalties in perpetuity.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, it's just a matter.
Have you ever seen a check from him?
I have never checked.
No. Okay. I know that YouTube doesn't pay much for content.
Well, I mean, we've gotten at least $100 check from Twitch. Took several years because they won't pay out until you hit $100 in ad revenue and likes and shares and
bits and all those other fun things they do.
Okay. And that was thanks to, I think it was on our 100 episode. Bad Weave paid us 100 bits. Nice. Or no, he paid us like it was $100 in bits, so it was like 10,000 bits.
Right.
I think is what he paid. That's okay. I paid that forward to BBJ a while back.
Very cool.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
I'm not quite to the freak out point for school starting, but I'm getting close. Next week, I might be in that freak out mode. But this right now, I am unboxing tons of Chromebooks. I've fixed my fiber. Oh boy, that was fun. I have a fiber optic connection going across my school district, and it was dropping packets and giving me errors, and only on one side of the connection. It was pissing me off. Couldn't figure it out. One single stick and twist fiber connection was not securely put in, so it was dropping 10% of the packets there, and so fixed one little click and it's done. So jazzed that's fixed, because that was a headache for a while. People were complaining loudly that things were not working. So,
nice.
Get ready, getting crazy. All good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. How about you? What's going on with you?
Just working.
Yeah, I see you've been working on a side project as well.
Oh, I'm always got side projects. It's just I don't typically tell people about my side projects.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm always working on something.
Well, I won't tell anybody about it. Trust me.
It's okay.
Other than that,
yeah,
I guess we should talk about the news.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay.
What do we got?
We're going to start with Roku. The Roku channel is the streaming service available onto many platforms, including the Roku. Would be odd if it wasn't available on Roku. And
that would be a very Google thing to do.
Yes, that would be, but Roku is not Google.
Exactly.
They do support their own platforms. Roku has announced that they're added 14 new linear channels through their live TV guide programming on their the Roku channels app. which is available on multiple platforms. And this is a lot of local news channels, like various ones that are available in like the Bay Area and in Boston and San Diego. A lot of NBC channels and a couple of NBC Universal channels as well. So more content for those free streaming platforms. Remember, this is free with ads, like many other things. And I was discussing with someone recently that right now is probably a really good time to be a free streamer if you didn't mind ads. This is probably a really great time for that, since there's so many services with ads. They cost nothing.
Yep. I mean, there was a story earlier that was talking about how fast channels, that's free ad supported
in
television or something. I don't know what the T is.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Are like all the rage right now, and I'm all for more options,
right?
To get your, so if Roku is your preferred platform, or you like the Roku channel.
Yep, it looks like they also added various channels for, like, they've added more Western channels, more Spanish language channels, and they still have all their other ones. Like, they have dedicated channels for NCIS and Law and Order and things like that. So it's like, if that's all you want to watch, just turn it on all day and just let it just come at you.
So they're giving you 14 new options to get your preferred provider for propaganda.
Yep, that too, if you wish, whoever you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
It's all for you. We're going to announce the death of a really cool product. Well, yeah, sort of discontinuing. Amazon has decided to take their TV Recast, the over-the-air DVR solution that they had. This is basically a really easy to use, plug in an antenna and record whatever shows you want onto an internal hard drive, and then stream to any compatible platform. They are taking that platform and they are discontinuing it. It is still available while supplies last, but so if you really want one, $205 right now for the 1 terabyte model.
Yeah. So part of this, a lot of the features of this are already available in their other products. But the thing you're losing is the over-the-air DVR part. This is just like a TiVo.
Yep.
This is one of those things where you could buy one now. It'll probably work for you for a very long time, but there's no guarantee how long they're going to provide you with the channel guide content.
True.
And it becomes severely impaired without that.
Well, there's other third party companies that do similar things still.
Yeah, but are you able to do it with this device? If this isn't, I assume this is locked down to the Amazon ecosystem, and I doubt that Amazon is going to unlock it.
True, but if you wanted a separate system from this, I know Channel Master,
for example, are options. I was talking specifically about the people that are in love with this product, or are tempted to buy one now that the price is reduced. That there is a risk that it may be very non-functional soon, because we can't guarantee how long Amazon's going to provide the channel content.
Even without the channel content, hopefully it would still work just as a timed based recorder. But yeah, that there ought to be, when I say that, I that's a thing that something comes to mind that I will talk about another time. There ought to be a service out there which basically is the channel guide, that is free, that anybody can download at any time, community supported. Libraries should host this. This should be just a document that's kept up to date and everybody contributes to it, because it's for the greater good of having people having access to this stuff. People should not be charged for this because it's a freaking text file.
The problem is It takes a lot of work to maintain that, because channels make changes on the fly. And if you don't have a relationship or a feed from that company, that stuff changes.
I am perfectly fine with said NBC, for example, updating theirs with their stuff every month.
Mm-hmm.
And if something changes, it's not their fault. Perfectly fine with that in that fashion.
But to my point, there isn't a standard. If there was a standard that, and then all the TV companies had to do was like an RSS, and then they just send out the RSS. It happens automatically, the propagation and the updating. That would be a scenario where what you would want is possible. Right now, that standard doesn't exist.
Exactly. Well, to me, the standard is called a CSV file, a comma separated value file, that is mass updated and basically concatenated. Whoever wants to put something on it, they just add it to the bottom. And have an override thing where if you put something on the bottom that has the same information as something above it, it takes over. And have it updated once a month, and doesn't have any history data, so nothing in the past, just what's upcoming for a month in there. Super simple. And yeah, I don't know.
So what I'm hearing is you need to start the standard, create the consortium of people that will be the industry.
I bet you somebody's already doing this.
Maybe. But right now, because the problem is, even if let's say we decided we're going to be the champions of this and we're going to set up the file and we're going to make it easy, we don't have relationships with these companies, nor do they have any reason to capitulate. We could pester them all they want and just say, hey, all you got to do is send your data to this thing every day or whatever, and they just be like, go away. Because it's not in their best interest.
It would be if everything could just, I want to watch this show and it says, oh, it's available on this station, and you just say click a button and find out how to get to that
it's in the user's best interest, but it's not in their best interest as they currently understand it. If you can demonstrate to them that, hey, this will make you money and ad revenue, and you can demonstrate that, then it becomes in their interest. But right now, I can guarantee you most of the big players that you want the data from, they don't see the benefit.
History is my evidence. Being able to look up data for a very low or free cost in order to get access to the thing that you're giving, you're making money off of for, it's not that I'm paying for the thing, it's that I'm watching the thing and you're getting paid for the ads.
Yeah.
That's the history. That's white pages, that's yellow pages, that's
I would say find
Google
out
News and other aggregating sites.
Yeah.
And Camel or pricegrabber.com gathering information and sending people to go buy things.
What I would say is find out where Channel Master and TiVo get their data. It's probably from the same place.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then you petition that place to give you
make it a free version of it.
Yeah, give you read access for the greater good. Just say, hey, I'm a fascist.
I am?
Well, you're talking about the greater good, and that is the definition of fascism. So
that's true. Yeah, but the greater good at all expenses, is a fascist. I am not that. Just to be perfectly clear, the greater good at nobody's expense. That's like the bottom. Not a fascist. That's not a fascist.
On that note, what what's going on with Logitech? They're writing music now. They're like producing a musical.
So let's see. Looks like no. The chorus. This is the Logitech chorus. Logitech, of course, we all know that Logitech loves to make various components that work with other things.
They're an accessory company.
They really are, and they are some of the better accessory companies, if you ask me.
They're usually my go-to.
You know, a Logitech mouse maybe not be the world's greatest mouse in the world, but I give you something about it. It usually works and works pretty damn well. And it's also usually not that expensive. Yeah.
Logitech wireless. This is the only one, the last one that was ever made. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. So they've come out and with an accessory for your Quest 2 VR helmet. What they've done is they've added a head strap to it, which allows it. It's an alternative to the normal head strap because that is removable. You can put on their head strap, and theirs includes a headphone setup, which is something that has never been on the Quest VR apparently.
So it looks the placement. That is how the Vive.
It does look
headphones
like the Vive.
are. So they're bringing basically that style. Which has been very popular. I've used it. It sounded really good. They're bringing that to the Quest. This $100, which on the surface, I would say for a good set of headphone speakers, probably a good price. The problem is that the Quest 2 went up by $100 last month.
So it's $200 now.
So yeah, now when you're paying $100, you're paying
$600 now for a base model. With speakers.
It becomes a harder sell, and that's why I was hoping Mike would be here because he would have a better his opinion would be a little bit better because he's in this ecosystem.
So I've used these kind of headphones, and what happens is they're like on little, for better word, sticks that allows you to adjust the headphones down to your ears and wherever. So wherever the idea is, however you're wearing the VR helmet, that's really hard to know exactly where your ears would be in relation to where the glasses are into your face. So you really have to have a lot of adjustability to it. So these guys can bend down to wherever your ears are. And it looks like they're like an open back design, so probably some sound from behind will come out of them.
So they're not on your ear; they're near your ear.
Or if you wish to, you can bring them right to your ear, and they'll be technically on your ear because you're pushing against your head. I've used this basically from the Vive, and or whatever. There's one of the previous ones, but anyways, a similar kind of thing, and it was fine because it's better than earbuds. Give you that. So
see, like earbuds, I prefer earbuds, but for long periods of time, they become irritating. And something even like headphones that are on your ears can become annoying after a while. These being near or just lightly touching your ear, I'm willing to bet you'll get tired of the headset before you get tired of the headphones.
Probably.
So this is good and good on Logitech. I'm still not a fan of your logo.
Oh,
they dropped the tech. Everything's just LOGI.
Logi.
It's
Logi.
Logi.
Logi. Or Log-I. Log.
That just stop.
No, that's okay. If you did want some earbuds, boy, have I got the deal for you. You. Clips, I think that's how you pronounce it. Clips. Got to have that shh in there. I think that's because that's the sound of the MP3
the white noise.
That MP3 compression is the sound.
Okay.
Klipsch was coming out with this new earbuds they were going to come out with. These are kind of like some, very nice they're going to be a fairly reasonable price at $199, and they were going to come out in the fall of 2020. Well, things happened, kind of interrupted what's going to go on, and they decided to rejigger this design. Instead of doing these, nice $200 headphones, they decided to make these really unique, bespoke headphones that, lets you go out to them, and they get handcrafted with unique materials. I mean, talk about gold or titanium or steel or leather or pleather or whatever you want to put on there. For the case design and for the actual headphones themselves, you can have some ceramic zirconia or use a pearl kind of driver inside of them so that they can have that high-end sound in there. And
they've got a lady named Pearl driving them.
Pearl driver, she's awesome. But these are no longer your $199 earbuds. Instead, these new models are going to be anywhere from $2,500 and $5,000. But that's right. You got to call them up. You got to tell them exactly what specs you want, what colors you want, how you want them, and there you go. Your $2,500 headphones to start.
While yes, that is a lot, I am not surprised because Klipsch is kind of known for their expensive headphones. I mean,
really,
the original price for these was going to be $650.
Oh, okay.
They already have a $200.
I'm sorry, I read the wrong.
So for people that aren't interested in the bespoke quality, or they just looking for more consumer level, they've got the T5 too, which is a direct competitor to your AirPods or those ones that we talked about last week, I think it was.
The LG.
Yeah, the new LGs. The interesting thing about this is that these earbuds have a battery inside. Those batteries don't typically last very long. I remember my very first set of Bluetooth headphones. I paid a lot of money for them from Motorola, and it was a year before the battery wouldn't charge anymore. And I was angry. And it was beyond their warranty, and there was nothing I could do because they were not user serviceable. These are serviceable, not necessarily user serviceable, but these are serviceable and potentially upgradable. So these could be, if you really like them and you don't want to have to buy new headphones every couple of years or do search, if these work for you, you could potentially go in and get the battery replaced, have new drivers installed. There's the chance that as they add features, you could probably swap out the main boards or whatever.
How often does that really happen?
I don't think these have the what were they calling it on the LG ones with the surround,
the spatial
the Atmos
audio. It's spatial.
The spatial audio. I don't think these have that. Potentially, you could upgrade these too because they're serviceable. So as long as it's Klipsch that's designing it, sky's the limit. Bluetooth LE or whatever the next Bluetooth thing is. So yeah, you could look at these either as a style accessory or an investment. Who knows? It not for everybody, obviously, but that such is the nature of something that is bespoke.
That's true. That is true. And it being also the higher quality parts means probably less likely would need to be upgraded or repaired. It would probably last longer anyways. So yeah, I get it. I'm still not spending $2,500 on a pair of headphones. I will go ahead and spend the $50 I bought on my current pair many, many, many times over before I pay that much.
Yeah,
personally,
I don't think it's That's more than I spend on any vehicles.
Yeah. How much are your headphones? $2,500. How much was your car? $600. Ooh. Says something, I gotta say.
Yeah.
All right. So the guys at Paramount Plus and Walmart have gotten together and decided that if you want to get onto the Walmart Plus subscription service, this is a platform designed for you to. It's kind of a competitor for like being on Amazon Prime. But it's free shipping for anything you buy over $35. Gives you access to discounts for gas at their gas stations and things like that. But now it also includes the essentials version of Paramount Plus. That's a version with ads included for free. So so if you want, you can get sign up into Walmart Plus and get access to it. And this article hopefully points out that if you have an American Express Platinum card, you get Walmart Plus for free. So there you go, free Paramount Plus if you want. It's available as a free service for your Walmart Plus membership. Since there isn't a ton of stuff on Paramount Plus, this is a good deal if you ask me, especially if you already have either the card or the service from Walmart. This is great.
See, that's the thing. There's a couple things that have popped up on Paramount Plus that I would be interested in watching, but there's not enough for me to create and motivate me to create an account and sign up. But it doesn't look like, I don't think I'll be able to get this for free. Oh wait, no, the American Express thing that gets you Walmart Plus for free, right?
Yeah, okay, because it gets that for free. Okay. It gets you Paramount Plus.
Yeah. So what's the price of Walmart Plus? It's $12.95.
It's $155 a year.
Yeah.
So it's probably $12.95 a month.
Okay. See, here's the problem. I
don't go to Walmart.
Well, no, I do. I go to Walmart. Okay. That's one of my main shopping places. Okay. I'm willing to admit it, unlike all the other people that say
I go to Walmart too.
No, absolutely. I'm saying unlike all the people out there that are like, Walmart's terrible, but then you see them at Walmart and it's like, I see.
No, Walmart's not terrible.
No, it's not.
Some of the people who go to Walmart are questionable.
But yeah, that's anywhere. But my point is,
that's true. But
I'm stuck paying for an Amazon Prime subscription where I rarely ever order anything from Amazon. Half the time, what I'm looking for isn't on there, or it's just crappy alternatives. There are certain things that, yes, sometimes it is useful. But I'm stuck paying for the shipping service to get the Amazon Prime Video. I don't want to do. I'm not signing up for another shipping service just to get free Paramount Plus.
Yeah, especially since Paramount Plus doesn't have enough on it to warrant it. Unless you would say that, yeah, Star Trek fans, that's a pretty good. Actually, if you ask me,
I would argue that Amazon Prime doesn't have enough on it most of the time. That's why I'm a monthly subscriber too. I pay more for Prime every year, but I don't always have Prime. So
right. So I think I doubt that Amazon started this, but they are one of the people who have somehow convinced us that getting into this service is really worthwhile when actually, if you look at the numbers, it may not be. I mean, I'm sure for some people it is. I'm sure for some people they look at how much they pay in shipping. But here's the thing. I can go to almost any other place and nowadays, and shipping is either very inexpensive, or if I pay get something so big, it's free, or it's just free outright because it's just they're competing. And so
it depends. Yeah. Some places can.
Yeah.
But a lot of places can't, and shipping has gotten really bad. It's really bad for some of these companies that I would normally order from that are kind of a mom and pop shop. It cost me $30 to ship you that box.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. That's not the issue.
I know
The
that.
issue is that shipping for most, unless you are a company that is big enough to have a SLA or, some sort of agreement with one of the shipping companies,
Right.
for fixed shipping costs, shipping is outrageous.
And since Amazon is a marketplace for other people, a lot of the stuff is in their warehouse already.
They are the they are being the distributor,
right?
Rather than the company that is. So there's a lot of nuance, and
sure. But I'm going to go ahead and flip that script a little bit and say that I buy a lot of what I buy on Newegg. I'm a big Newegg guy. I like to shop on Newegg for my stuff. Even just the stuff that's outside of computer stuff, I will check Newegg because they often have stuff I'm interested in there. And almost everything I get through Newegg, which is also through third parties often, has a free shipping option. Now, that may not be 2-day free shipping. That may be 7 to 10 days sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't care. It's not like I need it in 2 days. So, and also I feel like I'm not being sucked into Amazon's world of domination. So there's that problem too. But Newegg isn't exactly the Pied Piper of well, I guess that has double meanings now since there was a fictional company called Pied Piper. I shouldn't use that word. It isn't the answer to Amazon. Let me just put it that way. So yeah, it's there are other options out there that can do the free shipping, and you don't have to pay a monthly subscription or yearly subscription for hundreds of dollars to get the access to the stuff you want. And so I don't know how I feel about that. It just feels like there are people like this Walmart thing that people are getting into as a way of constantly paying for something and not necessarily getting all the value out of, and they feel like they might be getting value out of it, but actually you're not. And so that's a problem. And Amazon they didn't start it. I'm sure somebody else did it before them. Amazon made it a big deal, and everybody else feels like they're trying to catch on to this. Yeah. I don't like it.
Well, and the big problem is there are things on a weekly basis that I
refuse to pay the Amazon tax.
No. There are things that I desperately need that I need to get like now.
Sure.
The problem is places around here don't carry that stuff. There are no automotive specialty stores anymore. I can't go to the racing shop to get the fitting I need. And the auto parts stores don't carry the specialized stuff. I mean, half the time they don't even have the everything that you need in stock. That may be in a warehouse someplace. I can't just go down to Micro Center and buy some Deutsch connectors to create, there is stuff that unfortunately I have no choice. I have to go to Amazon and do the Prime 2-day because I can't wait a month. I'm trying to fix a thing now, or I'm trying to do a thing now, and stores don't carry stuff anymore. Unless, it's just your crap at
generic
Target.
Piece.
Yeah, generic whatever.
Thanks, Amazon. This is your fault.
No, it's not their fault. It's that I would say
they didn't help.
They're the only ones that are kind of helping. Because a lot of it is just because, like, I work on cars and motorcycles, and the specialty stores went away just because it's not part of the culture anymore.
Right.
And same thing with, there's really no electronic stores where you can get electronic stuff other than, I have a Micro Center. It's a real pain to go there. Best Buy doesn't carry that stuff anymore.
Right.
Yeah, you might be able to get a graphics card or, commodity items.
Right.
But if you realize, oh,
I
hey,
need
a 12 pin to 16 pin adapter for, your graphics card or whatever.
I needed a new CPU cooler for an old computer that's got socket 7 on it.
Yeah.
So I need that kind of. Yeah,
You used to be able to pop down to the old computer shop where they had old stuff, maybe used or whatever. Yeah, those stores don't exist anymore. And it's not necessarily Amazon's fault. A lot of them blamed Amazon, but a lot of it is just the fact that that's not the culture moved to demand away from that kind of place, and those places went away. So
I'm going to blame Amazon just
right.
for my own internal feeling, just so you know.
All right.
Okay. Just wanted to know. Hey, so this guy, he said he wanted to get internet access from Comcast, and Comcast said, sure, you can get internet access. That's going to cost you $50,000. At which point he said, ha, no, I'll just do it myself for that cost. So he made his own fiber optic ISP for himself and his little neighborhood. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Big story, big success for him. Good for him. He was, doing that thing. He's got his little internet. It's a guy in Michigan doing this thing. So he went in. So during the pandemic, there was there was a lot of funds about expanding broadband, and a lot of funds got sent to all the different states. And then the states themselves decided what to do with these funds. And the state of Michigan said, we're going to ask anybody who's interested to send out an RFP, request for proposal, for what you'd like to do with your money, if you could. And he just on a whim said, I'd like to get everybody in my little town. And so they threw money at him. They're going to go ahead. They're going to give him $2.6 million of funding, because the state has lots of money. So to him to expand his 70 customers to 600. And this is the little guy winning over Comcast and AT&T. And I'm sorry, it just makes me happy to hear this kind of stuff. You go, dude. You rock.
See, my uncle did something similar in the late 90s, early 2000s, where in California, there's a community, Julian, that's up in the mountains. They didn't have access to anything but dial-up, right? And
yeah.
And at the time, there, you had your options of AOL, Prodigy, whatever. It wasn't, due to whatever their situation was, that was not convenient for them. So what he did was, he was halfway down the mountain in Santa Isabel. He was able to get a T1 to his house. He was at the very end. So he became the ISP for Julian. So then they had a local number they could call. Because for those of you that don't know, dial-up required you to use your phone, and those phone calls had a cost associated with them. Certain companies would have 1-800 numbers, which could, but not always. Those weren't always good because they weren't regionalized. So there was problems in regards to the dial-up, which he solved. And he was also undercutting like Amazon by Amazon, AOL, AOL, Amazon, same thing, right? Different generation, same problem. And so he basically did this. And I've got a soft spot for people to do this. I tried to do something similar back around 2012. And there are areas in my metro where they built all these McMansions in the early 2000s. And as part of those planned communities, fiber was laid, but it was never lit up.
Nice.
That one is a simple solution, is because there's equipment readily available by companies like Ubiquity. If you want to be an ISP, it's affordable. You just need to You just need to basically become the provider and light it up. Well, I tried, and I petitioned the city, and I got people to petition the city to allow me to light up that fiber. The problem was it wasn't in the ISP's existing ISP's best interest.
No, they're going to lobby against that.
And they made it worthwhile to the city to not light it up. Right. And I finally gave up. I think at this point someone has finally lit it, and it was the ISP that was fighting against me. They finally lit it up a couple of years ago. Well, that fiber sat there dormant for almost 20 years.
Right.
And I mean,
these speeds 20 years ago, people.
Imagine these people that bought these houses with the promise of fiber in the early 2000s, and the promise was fulfilled. There is fiber. It is terminated in your house. There is an ONT, but it was never lit up. So good on this guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, the best part is it's not even his full-time job at this point. It's still just his side gig. I mean, well, he works for Akamai.
I imagine he'll have some additional employees to help him keep the business running.
At some point soon, he's going to have to.
Exactly. I have a similar fiber story from Grant County. Grant County was making buco bucks selling their power because they had access to power for several dams, and selling it to California. So they had a huge surplus, and they didn't know what to do with the money. So a group of technicians from Grant County PUD said, "Hey, let's start putting fiber to the home." Back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. One of the very first places in the nation to do it. So they did a test block and neighborhood, and I happened to be on that neighborhood. My mom's house was, and so I was able to get 1 megabit per second on a gigabit fiber line. But they limited me to one. No, that's not what had happened. They guaranteed 1 megabit per second. I got a lot more. On this fiber optic line to the house, and they were able to expand. Now, once they started expanding, the phone companies did come in and made a big brouhaha about the fact that, oh, you're a public entity, you can't sell this directly to the people. That's not allowed. So what they decided to do was say, we'll just be the backbone, and third-party ISPs can be created and can use our fiber, and we'll install the box on the side of the house, but the port will be set to your VLAN, and you will be on your ISP, so you can go ahead and do whatever you want with that. And they're still doing that to this day. But and
Verizon, it's still guaranteed 1 meg.
No, that was just the initial.
Okay.
When they were that first thing, if you're getting less than a meg, something's wrong. It's like, yeah. It's a gigabit fiber link. It should be faster than that. Yeah. But back then 1 meg was super fast.
Well, let me guess. When they put in that proposal, all the naysayers said, "Why would anybody ever need fiber to their house?"
So the Grant County PUD had lots of open hearings, and I don't remember all of it, but there was a big brouhaha of, I don't want any of the funds, my money, because it's my money, my taxes, my money going to that, being spent on this kind of stuff, going to some project that probably won't be useful in the future. But there's like, okay, it will technically use some of the funds that could be used for keeping prices low in the future if prices get, if something changes. And so, but we think it's worth it. And they expanded it almost all across Grant County, and nowadays people around there can't live without it. My wife, when we moved over here, said, "Is there fiber available?" And said, "No, it's Comcast. I can get gigabit down, but it's still Comcast." Like, fine. Wish it was fiber. And every once in a while, wish I had my fiber back. It's like, I don't blame you. I wish I had my fiber back too.
Well, you can.
I'm sure I can.
They make supplements. If you don't like cereal or bars, you can just there's all kinds of ways to get your fiber.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll have to go get my fiber. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Let's talk about the guys at Apple. You know the guys at Apple and how they invented the podcast, right?
Okay.
No. Yeah. Let's get past that. Yeah. They are working on deals with a big podcast company. I guess they're guys at Suave, and Suave is the name of one of the podcasts. The producer is called Futuro Studios. They're having a big deal with them in order to make it so whenever they have hit podcasts or whatever, and are big and that they've created on there, that they are going to be allowed to take those podcasts and their IP of them and turn them into shows for Apple TV Plus. This is interesting because there have been some podcasts that have turned into TV shows and movies recently with mixed results.
Was the VOD Squad one of them?
Well, I'm just wondering if we're going to be a movie on Apple TV Plus. That would be great.
The cautionary tale of 4 guys that wasted 6 years of their life talking to nobody on the internet.
Well, the guys that they made docuseries for We Crash, which is the WeWork guys, and things like that. They could totally take us and do the same thing about the cautionary tale. Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Totally worth their money, guys. We're not that expensive. You could totally come.
And maybe it could be host. Maybe it could be. Never mind. I was gonna make a Cinda Canning joke, but
okay. Canning peaches.
No. Cinda Canning. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm already lost. Hey, Google Meet. No, not that one. Google Meet, the new version of Google Meet that used to be called.
Is that the one where they send steaks and roasts?
No, that's it. That wasn't that one. No. That's like I said, it wasn't that one. It also wasn't the other one where she was thought of, like
the one that we used to use to.
No, not that one.
Oh,
the one that used to be called Duo.
It's
now called Meet.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So they've got these new features on the new version of Google Meet, which allows you to basically share your connections on your phone, your mobile device, and able to do cool things at the same time with your other people in the story. They are talking about things like being able to watch YouTube with your friends on Google Meet and do Spotify on your device with your friends with Google Meet. They're trying to make it so you can actually have these kind of friend sessions on your phone and be able to do these things together with your buddies on your devices together, which isn't actually a bad idea. It's just, it's Google. So, something's going to be going wrong here. Something isn't going to work.
Don't fall in love with it. You're incentivized not to fall in love with it because Google takes the Game of Thrones approach. If people like it, that character darlings. Gets killed.
Kill your darlings.
Yeah, basically you kill everything that you care about. And the stuff you don't care about lives forever.
Wow. It's a horrible but somewhat accurate view of the world of Google.
Oh yeah. Okay. Awesome. Good. I hope this thing makes hundreds of dollars. Somehow.
Indeed. All right. So apparently the guys at Amazon do have a cool new thing coming up for you to watch. If you are a huge fan of your comedy shows, where you can see people accidentally fall on ice or something accidentally break while
you're watching Fail Nation when you're sitting at
or
Chicago.
Your old AFV stuff, that's watching videos of things that are happening and going, haha, that was funny. The guys at Amazon are now working on a version of this, which is all the funny footage that is caught on your Ring camera. Now, the question becomes, how many times can you see somebody slip and fall as they're coming up to deliver a package before it's no longer funny? How many times the run by dog and you tripping on it before those. I don't.
I think the real question is, how long will it be before people start reporting, I didn't submit this? They've got an AI just going through all the footage.
Yeah, they do.
And you don't even realize that there's somebody looking at your footage on a server someplace, and then they're cherry picking, and it's like, wait, that looks kind of like my car. Hey, wait, that's my husband. Wait, who is she?
I seriously doubt that's going to happen, because I'm pretty certain people could get sued very fast for something like that. Namely Amazon.
Did they read the terms of service?
Oh, damn you and those terms of services. I don't know. It's possible that the terms of service could be used for, but
that's what I'm saying. I'm just asking, has anybody actually read the terms of service to know whether or not that couldn't happen?
Actually, I think what's more likely to happen here is that there are going to be a lot of people who on purpose make funny things happen to get on this show.
Yep. That's what you call reality TV.
Yeah, I know, but it's supposed to be, stuff that happens naturally, and thus was funny.
Yeah, but reality TV is scripted.
Yeah, but people are gonna. It's true of all those different shows. That's where they get. So yeah, it's sad. Yeah, but it is a good question about what happens eventually when if they start using this without permission, or with permission because of your terms of service, but you didn't realize. I foresee a lawsuit if that's the case, and I foresee it being actually interesting and probably good results coming out of it for us to know and understand what our rights are in this case. Either way, in that case, that's how I feel. All right, so Google's now working on a new way for you to play games straight from your browser. You might be thinking, hey, they have that. It's called Stadia. Yes,
it's called browser games. They've been around since the invention of the browser.
Browser games have been around for a long time too. That's true. But no, what they're talking about is you getting on the computer, bringing up Google, and you start typing in, what's the most recent cool game in that? And it says Stray, for example, this new game, this you being a cat. And you think to yourself, oh, cool. And then there's a link there. The link says play now. This is the idea. They're working on making it possible for the Google results to have access to the games that are available that you might be able to have available on various streaming platforms, not just Google Stadia. They're also working with Xbox Cloud Gaming, GeForce Now, and Luma to make it so you can immediately get right into the game by a click of your mouse on something that you're searching for, relative to what's going to that game on the device. So this is cool. This is a great way of showing people this is available to you through a streaming platform. This is obviously would be a Stadia tie-in, when probably I wouldn't be surprised if the Stadia result was the first one listed if it was available. So I like this idea of being able to search for something and then going, oh, I could play that. Click. Cool.
I guess it would depend. I'd have to see how it's implemented to know whether or not it's useful.
So they have if you scroll down, they have a YouTube header, and they show the results on the right of that little guy of that preview video.
But that's only okay, I guess that would only be useful for people that are already searching for that game.
Right.
Which, if you're already searching for that game, you already have a preferred platform, and I don't know how useful this is. Because you're probably gonna, if you want to play that game and you have a preferred platform, you're gonna just go automatically to your preferred platform to play the game. You're not gonna be like, hey, where can I play this? There are some people that are gonna be like, hey, I don't have a console, I don't use Steam, where can I play this game? That might be helpful, but I was thinking that, let's say you were reading an article on Game Insider, and then
an ad was there for play
in
now.
the text it mentions the game, and if you click on that, it, okay, something like that would be useful, especially if you could set in your browser.
Okay, Clyde, let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say it's a game you don't know if you want to buy yet. Let's say you're researching the game, right?
Yeah.
And you're researching the game, and you search it for it, and it says, "Hey, it's available now on your Xbox cloud gaming subscription you already paid for, or the demo's there, and you can play it right now." That's actually pretty compelling to have it in that specific case.
Yeah, that's a very specific case, but like I said, that goes down to the that's a very niche.
Sure.
But what I'm thinking is, let's say, what's the game website that does stories like Game Insider?
There's so many, Kotaku, IGN.
Yeah, okay. So let's say you're an IGN and you're just reading through stories, and they're talking about a story about a new game. You've never heard of it, and you're reading through, and then everywhere that game is listed, your browser has already highlighted it, and it's a clickable. So as you're reading, like, hey, this sounds interesting, you click on it, and it takes you to Stadia, whatever. That, I think,
that sounds like a plugin, because it's literally modifying the text.
Exactly.
Of the thing.
And that's my point, is I was saying if this was a feature in a browser or a plugin, I think that would be much more useful overall.
Yeah, the reach would be greater. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you're searching for it, that first search engine will come up with a similar thing on the side there. So, and that's easy for them to do.
Yeah.
And very cool. And also that it's open to all the other platforms.
They already do
Google.
that with they already do that with other stuff. Like if I'm searching for something in a movie.
Yeah, I'm going to search for The Iron Giant.
And then it'll come up on the side with the person's birthday and their second cousin's ex-wife's.
So I can watch now on IMAX, on HBO Max. It's on YouTube. It's on Google Play Movies. It's on Apple TV, and I have many more options. It's on Vudu. It's on Amazon Prime Video. So yeah, that exact same thing, but for games. Awesome idea. I love it personally. It's not It's not going to change the world. It's going to be pretty nice, though. I think so.
If it's not going to change the world, what's the point of doing it?
Fine. Let's see if that's how you feel about it. Okay. YouTube is working on making channels for their streaming service, but why do we care?
Wait.
Sorry. I'm just
no. I'm trying to. So they're trying to launch a channel store for streaming services.
Right. So let's say you wanted to purchase HBO Max or Showtime or something like that.
Yeah, you go to your Roku, you go to your Amazon Fire, you go to whatever, and you click install.
Right, exactly. Well, let's say you're a person who primarily uses their computer, and you're on YouTube a lot, and show happens to be that you're searching or talking about is on one of those other platforms. But YouTube is looking to make it possible for you to purchase those channels directly through YouTube. Now, is it also going to work on the YouTube app inside of those other platforms? Maybe. Don't know.
Why? Okay.
Why not? Just like if you're on the Amazon app and you happen to have your Paramount Plus on there or your Showtime on there, it'll show you those various shows available on this.
All I have to do is you put in your in the bar at the top of your browser, showtime.com, and then you get to that page, your browser says, oh yeah, I know you, and it auto logs you in, and you're in their native thing, and you know what? You can watch it there. You also know what?
What?
You can use, and you can access it from every platform that has an app.
This is true for every single one of these.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get this. I really don't get this.
This is exactly the Amazon / the Roku / Hulu. All of them are having their own channel stores for access to these various
No, I
platforms.
get
And
that on devices.
YouTube is getting it. Well, YouTube will have the exact same thing on the devices too.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
It's the same
I don't
thing.
get it. I don't get
Just
it.
Instead of Hulu being the platform to get in through to get access to your Showtime, YouTube becomes the platform you go through to get to your Showtime.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I think those nested services are
you
dumb.
like them separate.
Yes,
I understand that. A lot of people I know love them integrated. I don't know why. Because I think it's because they like to be within one platform for all their stuff if they can be. Also, I think they like having all of it come into one bill if they can. And since that's a thing that people are doing, it makes sense for YouTube to do it. This also happens to be something they do on YouTube TV already. So, yeah, YouTube as another option, it's fine. Makes sense to me as an option. I get why you don't like it. You'd rather have the separate app.
I just think it's dumb.
Stars needs to be installed on its own stupid app, not on some other person's access to Stars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I bet you this is going to be more popular than you think. So, Spotify as a new feature for you. If you are listening to a playlist, apparently you could, post a little reaction to it, like I don't know, like a thumbs up or maybe a little text.
Speaking of people liking dumb stuff,
now Spotify is testing the ability for you to react with your own voice clip. Oh God. No, this is a bad idea. No, the voice clip's gonna be anything ranging from really, really, really fake praise, real honest praise that sounds horrible. Somebody doing their own rendition of one of the songs poorly.
It's gonna be nothing but people shouting obscenities.
All the obscenities you can think of all the time. So, and then every once in a while, maybe a funny guy saying something funny that's not related at all to the playlist.
But the problem is nobody will get to the funny guy because you have to wade through all the people shouting obscenities.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, this is of all the terrible ideas that Spotify has had over the couple of years, the terrible things they have done to ruin their UI, this has got to be the dumbest.
I will give Spotify one kudo here. My one kudo is Spotify is not afraid to try things. They have come up with every single stupid idea they could possibly do, and some okay ideas too, for their platform. I guess they're just not afraid to fail in some ways.
Okay, so just to emphasize the gravity of this, I am speechless.
Yeah, that takes something too.
Exactly. Okay.
So, do you have any playlists that you share?
No. I listen to the playlist that it makes for me. That's it.
I wonder if you can listen to other people's reactions to somebody's playlist, or only the owner gets.
Well, you can hear, like, if you make a playlist and mark it as public. Like the other day, I was driving around with my daughter and introducing her to bands. Like, we spent over an hour listening to Wham.
There's interesting band. It's a love-hate relationship with them.
They had a lot of absolute garbage that I never knew about, because the only stuff I knew was the radio stuff, right? But it was a playlist that somebody had made, this is Wham or whatever. And so
would you put audio response to that? Like, this is garbage.
No. Although, let me get out a pen or your notepad or whatever. Everybody, you need to listen to the Wham song, Young Guns. It's a thing I did not know existed until a couple days ago.
Wool as in wow good or wool as in wow bad?
Oh, it was like, I don't know how anybody thought this was a good idea.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But back on topic. But that is a public playlist. So that is a thing that people theoretically are going to leave messages on. Will I be listening to those messages? Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, I got good news for you.
Yeah?
That is the last story of the week.
Thank God. Because that allows me to take a minute to say thank you to the people that support this show. The people that, if we had the time, we could probably just sit around an hour and just talk about how great the patrons are. But the problem is nobody wants to listen to that. And the patrons don't pay us to do that. So we're not going to. Okay, we will just say thank you and let you know if you find what we do in any way interesting and you want to support it. You can do so by going to patreon.com/thebod You have at least one more episode that you can contribute to. So, patreon.com/thebod patrons, blah, blah, blah.
Who? The
patrons? Yes, the patrons. The patrons are awesome, and we appreciate you. Let's go to the rants and raves.
So, this past week, we've been busy with house stuff and clean backyard stuff and things like that. Between all the various works, which, by the way, digging holes suck for posts, but that's a backyard story.
Yeah, it's why people don't aspire to be ditch diggers.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially when your whole house is filled with rock. To level your land, they did rock filling. So I got head-sized boulders pulling on the rock.
Every once in a while, one of those boulders is a head?
No, I haven't come across that yet.
Okay, good.
Not yet. Thank God.
No. One tip, when inevitably you do, don't tell anybody.
Oh.
Because the minute you get the authorities involved, problems. So just put it back where you found it and never mention it again.
Well, we were able to sit down and watch a couple shows and movies and things like that. We have been continuing to watch Only Murders in the Building, and I have a couple thoughts on this season that I've come to. One, it's not the world's greatest show. It's not. It really isn't. But I love it. And you know why I love it? Because it's absurd in just the right way. The level of absurdity in it is getting to Python-esque, and I love it. And I enjoy every episode, not because of necessarily it is the most intellectual thing. It's actually not that bad. It is interesting, but this season has been a lot of swing and a miss kind of revelations, which is kind of like on brand for it, essentially. I guess that's like the idea of everything they thought was something suddenly isn't. I guess that's kind of what happened a lot in the first season too, until they get into it. But I do absolutely love the absolute everything just taking up to a notch and being absurd with it. And the performance by those actors, Martin Short and Steve Martin, are just so much fun to watch. They're so good at what they do. So I totally enjoy that. The other movie we watched, which was a surprisingly fun romp, was the Uncharted movie.
Oh.
Now, my wife and I have never played the game, Uncharted, any of them. And so I guess that's why we liked it, because apparently if you have played the game and you're a big fan of the game, you hate the movie. That's what we understand is the common theme.
Well, that's just life.
It's not as good as the original. Whatever. But it was delightful and very much in the vein of your National Treasures and your Indiana Jones and that kind of fun of finding your treasure kind of movies. And yeah, totally had a good time watching it. And I would love to see an Uncharted 2 come out, and that would be fun. Hopefully they do that. We really enjoyed that, and it again, I wouldn't call it a brilliant movie, but fun. Please enjoy.
Okay.
It was definitely fun. Also, there was a scene where they're walking out of the ocean and they talk to a guy, and the guy says, "What happened to you?" And they said, "What happened to him?" And he said, "Huh, that's funny. Same things happened to me. Good luck." And we're like, "What the hell was that?" And I had to look it up. Apparently, that was the original voice actor of the of Nathan Drake. So, okay, good homage. That was cool.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to that movie, and I saw it's on Netflix.
Yep.
So but I have problems sitting down and watching movies.
So
yeah.
If I were to recommend how to watch it for you, is just turn it on in the background.
Oh yeah, I will. It's just the problem is I don't like having to stop and walk away and then finish it later. So it's a matter of dedicated 2 hours of my time where I'm going to be sitting in one place. That's one reason I don't do a lot of movies. But that's on my list. I actually own most of the Uncharted games. I played about 15 minutes of each of them. Because that's about as long as it takes for me to lose interest in a game.
Oh wow!
Well, that's why I don't really game. It's just
I'm sorry, man.
I lose interest.
I'm sorry, man.
But you are big into Only Murders in the Building.
I am. I enjoy the humor and the absurdity of it, and There.
So I just have a question for you.
Sure.
Who is the famous podcast lady?
Tina Fey is the actress.
Yeah. What's her character's name?
Can't remember her character's name.
Cinda Canning.
Cinda Canning. Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I was confused when you didn't get the reference earlier.
I'm sure, but you know what?
I was like, wait, I know you watch that show.
I do watch it. I don't necessarily know the name of all the names of the characters because guess what? I'm horrible at names. I have been bad at names.
Have you watched this week's episode?
I did watch it last night with my wife.
Okay, so then it's even more important that you know her name.
Yep. Yes, I know exactly who she is, but I did not know her name. Sorry.
Okay.
Names are things I don't always catch.
There is a movie. I'll get into it real quick. I watched a couple things. I've been watching a couple things on Netflix, which is very few and far between. The Sandman show finally came out. I haven't read any of the Sandman, but I did enjoy the Lucifer TV show, which is from Sandman.
Oh.
So I felt I was interested in venturing into this further into this universe, and I think I enjoyed the show.
Really?
It had a few points that were kind of didn't know whether I was interested or not. It had some weird pacing stuff, but overall, I think I really liked it. I was very, very disappointed, almost angry that they didn't have Tom Ellis play Lucifer, because Tom Ellis is Lucifer from Sandman in his own show, which they would have said, oh, well, that was on a different series, but the Lucifer TV show is owned by Netflix now. They saved it from Fox. So there is no reason that Tom Ellis couldn't have even made an appearance. Yes, Lucifer can change his appearance. I did not love the tall night lady from Game of Thrones as Lucifer. I didn't. But for the most part, I liked that show. But
so just real quick, was it was it a movie or a television?
No, it's a series.
And you binged it?
No, I've been watching it for like a week or so.
Oh, okay.
I
Cool.
watch
Good.
a couple episodes here and there.
Gotcha. So, but I would call that a binge, as in I watch several at a time.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I finish
yeah.
it
That's
quickly.
typically how I consume stuff.
Yeah.
As I have time, it's like,
Right.
you know. The other thing that's on Netflix, season 3 of Lock and Key. If you remember back to my early criticisms about the show, I'm interested in the universe. But the characters are morons. They are horribly written. Their motivations make absolutely no sense. That has been my biggest complaint about this show. We are now season 3. They have gone through multiple hardships, of which their characters have grown and learned, correct?
And they're still morons.
They are still making the same moronic. And I finally got to the point where I think I'm done. I had to quit. I was in the middle of an episode, kind of like my same complaint about Stranger Things. I think I'm done. But we'll get to the thing that I wanted to talk to you about.
Yep.
I was watching movies. So my daughter was over this weekend. We're going to watch a movie. I saw the trailer for The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
Yes, I remember that movie.
I watched the trailer and I told my daughter, I went, this is Romancing the Stone. And she said, what is that? I said, okay, hold on. So I immediately brought up, we watched Romancing the Stone, Michael Douglas and
which I have seen like most of, but not all of them.
Okay.
I've seen the ending. I've seen parts of the middle.
I remember loving that movie.
Right.
Watching it now, it was rather slow. It wasn't the action-packed comedy I remember, but I think I more fondly remember Jewel of the Nile, which was the sequel later. But we watched that. That's the story of a romance novelist whose sister is kidnapped, and she has to go to South America to rescue her sister. And then gets in trouble, meets Michael Douglas, who saves her, and blah, 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 blah. They have fun. Danny DeVito's funny, yada, yada, yada. So then the next night, we watched The Lost City.
Right.
Where Sandra Bullock is a romance novelist.
Yep.
But the big twist, she gets kidnapped. And she has to be rescued by her cover model. I will say, overall, it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
And my daughter was completely baffled because the bad guy is played by Harry Potter.
I know, isn't it great?
And she was having trouble divorcing him from Harry Potter.
Yes.
And so I told her, I gave her a project. I said, what you need to work on, take video clips from Harry Potter, select video clips from Harry Potter, but replace the audio with his audio from this movie. And he's got some amazing one-liners. So you watched the movie.
I did watch the movie. Then it was very
fun.
Very good.
It was fun. But when we were done, she told me, she said, I am so glad I watched the old one first.
Huh.
Because throughout the movie, throughout The Lost City, she's going,
oh yeah,
that's copied. That's straight out. That's a little bit, it's kind of flipped, but yep. And she was calling out everything from that movie that was a direct ripoff of Romancing the Stone. So, but it was fun. It wasn't something that I thought I was ever going to watch. But I enjoyed it.
Very cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was actually a fairly this made movie, and yes, you're right. It's a pretty good copy of Romancing the Stone.
Yeah.
I would admit that.
And so
very cool.
All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Again, this is the penultimate episode of the VOD Squad. Next week is 300, which is technically our last episode.
So, what? Our last episode?
At the very least, the last episode of the show, as you know it. So
what?
Yeah.
The VOD Squad we're having a last episode next week?
Last episode next week.
Oh, no.
What's going to happen beyond that? Well, you're just going to have to tune in and find out. We'll have to discuss that next week. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We have been here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central, currently on YouTube, where I don't know if we're going to be here or Twitch next week. We haven't decided that. Who knows? I don't know.
Where will we be? What will happen? How will
I don't know.
Continue?
You're going to have to look.
Will it continue?
You're going to have to search.
What's going on?
Head to follow the VOD Squad at the VOD Squad on Twitter. I'm assuming that announcements will be made there. But if you want to get this audio version after the fact, you can get that anywhere the audio podcasts are sold. Luckily, ours is free. So you have no excuse for not subscribing. You don't even have to listen to it. So why aren't you subscribed? But if you actually care and you don't, and you want it faster, like immediately after, just ready to go for your morning commute tomorrow, become a patron and you get a custom RSS feed. But all right. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us this whole time. And we will be headed to the post show where I don't even know if there's any titles because I just realized I haven't had the chat open this entire time. So I haven't submitted anything.
I put a couple in, and that means I'm going to win.
Matt is the winner.
Is that a title? Let's put that in.
I think so. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will catch you next week, hopefully. Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.